All right, I'm here in the studio doing vlog number 6. I'm going to be talking about The Martian, which is, the hot new movie. Well, I guess it's not really new now. It's a couple weeks old, but was the hot new blockbuster movie. For good reason, because I think it's awesome. I think it's a great movie. I read the book before I saw the movie. I read the book actually in one day because I liked it so much, and then saw the movie like 3 days after that weekend. I like the book more than the movie, which is kind of usually the case. With things like Harry Potter and all that stuff, the book is usually a little bit better. Here we go. There we go. But I still really like the movie. I thought it was very interestingly shot because you had a lot of camera angles that were like security cams in the place that he lives, or like GoPro style cameras, because like most of the shots that concern the main character stuck on Mars were, excuse me, from cameras that he would have available to him, because it's him like vlogging like this. So there was a lot of him like sitting at his computer, or when he's in the rover driving around for like a month. There's like little like GoPro type angles. There's like helmet cam stuff. I mean, there's also like, cinematography, like normal directing camera shots, and then all the stuff back on Earth just, looks like it would be from a regular movie. But I thought it was really cool how they implemented, like, the cameras that the audience is seeing through are cameras that Watney, the guy on Mars, could look through if he recorded something. So I thought that was really cool. It helped add to the realism, which was a huge part of this movie, is the detail in the equipment. The space suit looked awesome, and it all looked totally legit. Like, there wasn't, like, I think this book is technically categorized as sci-fi because, like, we're not on Mars yet, and it's fiction. But in like 20 years, this could be like maybe not 20 years, maybe like 30 years. This could be like a totally viable like news story. Guy gets stuck on Mars for like a year. There's a huge worldwide effort to get him back, and everybody on Earth is following it, and like CNN is doing coverage of it. In the book, CNN has a show called like the Watney Update, I think it is, throughout the entire time he's stuck on Mars, and it's crazy. There's so much detail especially in the book, but it translates over into the movie, of just how things would actually be if this went down. Like, it's the most realistic sci-fi I think I've ever seen. And part of that is because there's no aliens or crazy interstellar, like, going into black holes or whatever. It's just like a survival story. Let's see, back to the movie. The cinematography and stuff was awesome. I noticed that a lot of the scenes, I only saw it once because I saw it in theaters, but a lot of the scenes where he's out on like the Martian landscape, like usually driving around in the rover, are very wide. Just so you can get a sense of how empty it is, how big and empty it is. Because, I mean, it's Mars, there's not really anything up there except for rust-colored rocks. So there's a lot of like very wide, high shots of just like big old plane, and then there's just a little dot of him driving around, which I thought was cool. And then when you get to him and like his habitat, and he's like doing survival stuff and building stuff, it's like more claustrophobic because it's like I mentioned, it's like the security cam type views, or him talking face to face like this. As far as the acting goes, I mean, freaking Matt Damon. Matt Damon? Yeah, Matt Damon. Not Mark Wahlberg. Matt Damon. I get him mixed up. Matt Damon, awesome actor. I think that's kind of known. He's really good at just being like the smart guy, smart, confident guy. In the book, there's a lot of humor that Watney uses to cope with his situation, and that translates over into the movie very well. Even though, because like in the book he's like writing journal entries, and then in the movie he does these like vlog type things. And there's in the movie a lot less. They cut out a lot of the journal entries for kind of obvious reasons, because it would make the movie very, very slow and boring. But his personality doesn't really suffer because of that. You still get a lot of, if not all, of the moments that like show you how he's dealing with it. Show like his humor or resourcefulness or whatever. And that's another thing too. Very resourceful. Anyway, that's more. Well, I guess I could talk about the story. As far as the story goes, it's awesome. Like I said, it's very realistic. Like, if we actually got to Mars, well, when we actually get to Mars, I like to think, and something like this happened, like, this is maybe how it would play out. Like, in the book, there's a lot of, it's not like Michael Crichton, where there's, like, diagrams, but, like, it's close. There's just a lot of numbers. Like, he runs through the math. He's like, okay, I've got to grow this amount of food for this much time so I can survive, so that's going to look like me having this many acres of dirt and this many potato plants and all that. And it can be a bit much when you're reading it, but in the movie, he kind of just makes it happen. You see it happen, which is cool. Let's see, what else? As far as settings go, I mean, it's all pretty, it's either him out in the landscape in his lander, or him in like his little settlement bubble type area, or back on Earth, all the people trying to deal with, like, helping him. Which may sound repetitive, but it's kind of not, because as certain things happen in the story, his, like, settlement, whatever you want to call it, changes. Back on Earth, they go to, like, China, they go to NASA, they go to the rocket propulsion place or whatever. And, you know, I wasn't super concerned with the scenes on Earth. In the book, it's probably like 70-30, like Mars being the 70 and then the 30 being them on Earth trying to figure out how to help. Well, maybe like 60-40. And then you also have the whole other crew of astronauts that he's a part of that were on Mars originally, which, you know, are all awesome actors, like Kate Mara, and I don't really remember anybody else, but they were good. Notable people. And another thing, speaking of scenery and detail and stuff, the ship that those astronauts are in, the one that takes them to and from Mars, is awesome. Like, the detail put into it and the realism. Like I said, all this stuff looks like it could be actual spacecrafts that we use. Like, I mean, it had the big, you know, rotating rings and stuff for gravity, and like, oh, it was awesome. It looked like the ISS on steroids, and it was super, super cool. Let's see what else. Sorry, have you seen The Martian?
I haven't, no.
No? Oh, you're missing out, dude. You should see it.
I know, I really want to see it.
It's real good. It's real good. I read the book too. I like the book more, but
sorry to like interrupt your vlog.
No, dude. I don't really care. I was kind of running out of stuff. I'm at 8 minutes anyway, so I guess that's it. Watch The Martian. I loved it. Read the book too. Swear.